I'm knee deep right now in the Swifty Easter egg hunting. I am
Are
all
you?
over. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I am.
Taylor Swift's fairy tale with Travis Kelce just keeps throwing new twists, and fans can't get enough. First up, the internet is in full meltdown mode debating whether she'll actually become Mrs. Kelce or keep her billion-dollar brand name. Then, attention shifts to fashion, with insiders swearing her wedding gown will set global trends. And just to fuel the frenzy, a resurfaced interview reveals Taylor once described her vision of the perfect wedding. Meanwhile, the jeweler behind the engagement ring is winning hearts, tying the design back to Speak Now.
To those of you who've been with me since day one, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
Adding more intrigue, Kelly Stafford reminds everyone she's connected to the Kelce brothers through her NFL family ties. And finally, Donna Kelce sparks outrage with a repost Swifties definitely weren't ready for.
Her uterus is aching. I know it is. Her uterus is aching. And she wants a baby. She wants a baby.
Let's be real, this is less about when's the wedding and more about, wait, is she seriously going to be called Mrs. Kelce? Yep, Swifties have gone full FBI mode, dissecting every angle of this, and the internet is basically split into two camps, Team Keep It Swift and Team Mrs. Kelce. And honestly, it's wild to watch. Think about it. Taylor Swift isn't just a name, it's a full-on global brand. That surname has been printed on merch, screamed at stadiums, and tattooed on superfans for almost 2 decades. She's built an empire on it. Music, tours, movies, and don't forget the whole Taylor's version saga, where she literally fought for her name, her art, and her voice. For her to just hand over Swift like it's a spare hoodie, some fans are acting like it's sacrilege. Of course, insiders are dropping little hints that nothing's been decided, which just pours more fuel on the fire. Swifties on Twitter are already spiraling, one side saying she should keep her name because, duh, she's Taylor freaking Swift, while the other side is gushing about how cute Mrs. Kelce sounds, like it's some sort of football fairy tale ending. Meanwhile, Travis is probably just happy he's marrying the planet's biggest superstar, not worrying about fonts on concert posters. But you can't ignore the business side of it. Dropping Swift would be like Nike suddenly deciding to call itself sneaker brand number 3. Her name is a franchise, and franchises don't just rebrand because of wedding vows. And yet, there's that old school romantic vibe where people still expect brides to take the husband's name. Especially when the husband is literally a 6'5" NFL tight end. Cue the memes of Jersey saying Kelce Swift like it's a joint law firm. And speaking of cliffhangers, the internet barely catches its breath over the whole Mrs. Kelce debate before diving headfirst into the next obsession, what on earth Taylor Swift is going to wear down the aisle. Forget the rings, forget the flowers. This is the Super Bowl of fashion, and apparently every designer with a sewing kit is suiting up like it's game day. Insiders are saying that Swift's gown isn't just a dress, it's basically a global event waiting to happen. Designers from every corner of the planet are scrambling for the gig, throwing sketches, fabrics, and mood boards at her team like confetti at a parade. Word is, some in the fashion world are hyping it up as the most important gown since Princess Diana. That's not pressure, that's pure couture chaos. Think about it. Versace, Valentino, Dior, Oscar de la Renta, Vera Wang, it's like the Avengers, but instead of saving the world, they're fighting for the honor of bedazzling Taylor in lace and tully. A fashion exec even joked that whoever wins this gig basically becomes immortal. Forget a star on the Walk of Fame, you're set for life if you're the one who gets her saying I do in your creation. But here's the fun part. Taylor knows exactly how much power she holds. According to people close to her, she's fully aware that one decision, one photo, one twirl in that gown could set wedding trends for decades. Translation? Brides from Iowa to Istanbul will be begging their seamstresses to make me look like Taylor. The ripple effect is so intense that one insider even compared the wedding to a coronation of couture. And just when fashionistas are losing their minds over who gets to stitch the gown of the century, Swifties go digging in the archives and stumble across a little time capsule, a 2012 interview where 23-year-old Taylor casually spilled the tea on what her dream wedding would look like. Leave it to this fandom to unearth decade-old receipts faster than the CIA. Back then, she wasn't the billion-dollar juggernaut she is now, just 4 albums deep, still scribbling lyrics about sparks flying and heartbreakers in scarves. Yet even then, she was laying down some surprisingly deep thoughts about love. Fans today are basically clutching their pearls, saying it feels profound how young Taylor knew exactly what she wanted. Not some fairy tale with glass slippers, but a relationship where, if stuff goes sideways, both people just shrug and say, "We'll get through it." Honestly, that's some grown-up wisdom that most of us don't figure out until we've already texted our ex 3 times at 2 a.m. She also admitted back then that happiness, plain and simple, was her #1 priority. No drama, no secret rendezvous in dimly lit corners. She wanted a love that lived in the light, not in the shadows. Fans are now crying into their Eras Tour hoodies. Connecting the dots between that quote and the very public, very unbothered love story she's writing with Travis. It's like watching a prophecy play out, only with tighter pants and more confetti cannons. And when the interviewer asked if she'd ever pictured the perfect wedding, Taylor didn't give Bridezilla vibes at all. No binder full of flower swatches, no secret Pinterest board of centerpieces. She said she wanted to build a life with someone where his dreams mattered just as much as hers. Basically, no side character husband energy allowed. Fans are now pointing at Travis, Super Bowl rings, spotlight of his own, and enough swagger to keep up with her stadium tours, and saying, "Welp, guess she's manifested this." And speaking of manifesting, the prophecy train doesn't stop there, because now all eyes are on the rock sitting pretty on Taylor's finger. Not the kind you skip across a lake, but the old mine-cut diamond that's blinding everyone within a 5-mile radius. Enter Kindred Lubeck, the jeweler who somehow went from helping out at Dad's shop to designing the most talked-about engagement ring on the planet. Talk about a glow-up. Insiders say this sparkler could be worth up to $5 million, which explains why Swifties are squinting at every zoomed-in photo like they're jewelers themselves. And honestly, it's not just a ring. It's practically a historical artifact. Experts claim these old mine-cut stones date back to the 18th and 19th centuries, which means Taylor's bling isn't just vintage chic. It's like rocking the Beyoncé of diamonds. Original stones from that era are rare. So yeah, basically Travis handed her a piece of treasure chest real estate. But the real story here? Lubeck's own rise sounds like it could be a Taylor Swift bridge verse. Picture it. She studied psychology, slogged away at a law firm, then finally said nope and begged her dad for a part-time gig at his jewelry shop. What started as a backup plan during the pandemic turned into a career that has her hand engraving gold, going viral on Instagram Reels, and eventually launching her own fine jewelry brand. Now, she's officially immortalized as the designer behind the ring that broke the internet. The jeweler even hopped online after the proposal news dropped, thanking fans for the love and cheekily slipping in a lyric-inspired "Enchanted to Meet You." Swifties ate it up, of course, because nothing hits harder than Taylor references in the wild. And if anyone ever doubted her hustle, she made it clear. No loans, no handouts, just pure grind. Basically, the same energy Taylor had reclaiming her masters.
Hello, my name is Kindred Lubeck. I'm 30 years old. I started making jewelry in the summer of 2019. I was 25. I believe that if someone says you can't do something, you should prove them 110% wrong. I think that if one door closes, you should kick the next one down. I think that if you have a dream, you should never, ever quit. To those of you who've been with me since day one, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so, so much. And to those of you who are new.
And while Taylor's ring is blinding half the planet, somewhere else in NFL land, Kelly Stafford casually dropped that she's basically got a VIP pass into Kelce world. Yup, while the rest of us are still trying to figure out how to spell couture, Kelly's saying, "Oh, Jason Kelce? Yeah, my brother used to run routes with him back in Philly." Turns out Chad Hall, her brother, was catching passes as a wide receiver while Jason was snapping balls, and boom, football family tree unlocked. Suddenly, it's like every NFL wife has a secret backstory with the Kelces, and Kelly's just sipping tea while letting us know she's been in that circle way before Swifties stormed the gates. Of course, when asked to pick between Team Manning and Team Kelce, Kelly didn't hesitate. Sorry, Peyton, but the Kelces win. And honestly, who wouldn't pick the guys who chug beer in parade floats and still somehow pull off podcast superstardom? According to her, They're just good people, and she knows them a little more than the Mannings. Translation? Thanksgiving dinners in the Stafford household probably had a few Kelce stories sprinkled in. But here's where it gets fun. Kelce's not just name-dropping, she's fully cashing in on the Swift Kelce mania. She even admitted her own podcast blew up because Taylor Swift brought a tidal wave of women into football. Tuesday timeout segments suddenly had Swifties tuning in like it was bonus Eras Tour content. And did she stop there? No. Last Halloween, she and Matthew went full Kelce Swift cosplay, with their daughters rocking different Taylor eras. Imagine trick-or-treating at that house. You get candy and a crash course in pop culture. And just when you think the universe has finally calmed down, after Kelly Stafford's little Kelce Swift cosplay reveal, boom! Mama Kelce throws herself a curveball that has Swifties spitting out their pumpkin spice lattes. Yep, Donna Kelce decided it was a good idea to hit that repost button on a reel that basically said Taylor's body is out here, clocking overtime, aching for a Kelce baby. Cue collective gasp. Like, Donna girl, we were not ready for that kind of family planning talk in our feed. Apparently this reel had comedian Leanne Morgan cracking jokes about Taylor, ruling the free world one minute and picking out baby names the next. She even painted this whole Hallmark movie scene with Donna in sensible shoes, rocking those high-waist jeans, pot roast simmering in the crock pot. Basically the Midwest Martha Stewart fantasy. Cute in theory, but in practice, Swifties were not amused. Next thing you know, Twitter's on fire, Insta comments are overflowing, and fans are begging Donna to please, for the love of Eras Tour tickets, hire a social media manager.
Her uterus is aching. I know it is. Her uterus is aching. And she wants a baby. She wants a baby. And it's time. It's time for her to want a baby. And she wants to breed with that big old Kelce boy. Of course she does. Of course she does. They're both tall.
Some are even whispering the dreaded jealous mother-in-law trope, while others are praying it's just a boomer repost gone rogue. Either way, chaos unlocked. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.